The first two episodes of Lucky introduce a story where trust is always uncertain. At first, it seems like Luciana Armstrong, aka Lucky, is simply trying to escape after waking up to find her partner gone along with $10 million. However, the story quickly becomes much bigger than a missing person case. Lucky finds herself caught between the FBI, who want to use her to expose a criminal network, and dangerous criminals who believe she knows where the money is. These episodes focus on survival, but they also explore how a lifetime of lies makes it difficult to build honest relationships. Every escape solves one problem while creating another, forcing Lucky to live with the consequences of the choices she makes. The first episode quickly shows how Lucky manages to escape impossible situations. After waking up in the hotel alone, she avoids both FBI agents and Priscilla's men by sneaking through the hotel loading area. She then convinces a truck driver that she's running away from an abusive boyfriend. Although the driver later admits he never fully believed her story, he still chooses to help her by giving her money to change her appearance and leave Las Vegas. In episode 2, Lucky tells a similar story to Sylvia, gaining food, shelter, and protection. These scenes show that Lucky's greatest strength isn't physical ability, but her understanding of people. She knows how to read emotions and quickly works out what someone is most likely to believe. Rather than forcing people to trust her, she gives them stories that connect with their own experiences. However, the series makes it clear that this ability has a darker side. Every lie depends on another person's kindness, meaning Lucky survives by taking advantage of people who genuinely want to help. The show presents deception as both her greatest weapon and one of her biggest flaws. As Lucky continues running, flashbacks reveal how she became involved in the missing money. Her father, John, secretly stole small amounts of money from Priscilla over several years while managing part of the criminal operation. Before Priscilla's release from prison, he asked Lucky to move the money to keep it hidden. Later, when Lucky contacts him after Cary disappears, John calmly tells her to use the survival skills he taught her, speak in code, and destroy her phone before anyone can trace the call. These moments reveal that deception has always been a normal part of Lucky's life. John never treats crime as something shocking or unusual. Instead, he speaks about stealing, hiding money, and avoiding surveillance as if they're ordinary life lessons. This explains why Lucky naturally relies on lies whenever she feels threatened. The series suggests that family doesn't only shape who we love, but also how we think. Even though Lucky often feels guilty, she continues making the same choices because they're the only survival methods she has ever known. Everything in the story begins with Cary's disappearance. Lucky wakes up alone, the money is gone, and nobody seems to know where he is. The FBI believes Lucky and Cary planned everything together, while Priscilla assumes Lucky is protecting her partner. As both groups search for answers, Lucky herself is left wondering whether Cary betrayed her or became another victim. The series deliberately refuses to answer this mystery straight away. It would be easy to believe Cary simply stole the money and ran away, but several details suggest there could be more to the story. Priscilla is desperately searching for her own son, which would make little sense if she already knew he had escaped with the money. By keeping Cary's fate uncertain, the show places us in the same position as Lucky. Every decision she makes is based on incomplete information, making it difficult to know who deserves trust and who doesn't. While Lucky is running, Agent Billie Rand begins connecting the different pieces of the investigation. She realizes that John stole money from Priscilla, Lucky helped move it, and Cary disappeared before anyone could recover it. Rand believes capturing Lucky could eventually lead the FBI to Cary, the missing money, Priscilla, and finally Whittaker, the man controlling the entire operation. At the same time, Priscilla is leading her own search, convinced that Lucky knows more than she admits. These episodes avoid making the conflict feel simple. Although the FBI represents the law, Lucky knows being arrested could still destroy her life. Meanwhile, Priscilla wants the money for very different reasons, believing her own survival depends on recovering it. Agent Rand stands out because she sees the bigger picture. She understands that Lucky has committed crimes, but she also recognizes that people like Whittaker pose a much greater threat. This creates an interesting situation where Lucky is caught between two powerful groups, neither of which truly offers her safety. Episode 2 slows the pace by placing Lucky inside Sylvia's home. Sylvia believes Lucky is another woman escaping an abusive relationship, especially after learning that the supposed abuser is a police officer. She gives Lucky food, medical care, and a safe place to rest. Lucky spends time with Sylvia's granddaughters, Ellie and Hazel, and for a short while, she experiences the warmth of a normal family life. However, everything changes when Agent Rand arrives and reveals Lucky's criminal past. Realizing she has been deceived, Sylvia agrees to help the FBI. Before leaving, Lucky steals Sylvia's truck and some money. This storyline highlights one of the show's biggest themes. Lucky clearly appreciates Sylvia's kindness and even seems uncomfortable about lying to her. Yet when survival is at stake, she still chooses deception. The series refuses to make Lucky either completely good or completely bad. Instead, it shows someone who often feels guilty about her actions but continues making them because she believes there's no other way to survive. Her choices keep her alive, but they also leave behind people who feel betrayed. During the first episode, Priscilla appears to be the person everyone fears. She remains calm during confrontations, rarely raises her voice, and expects complete obedience from Dutch and the others. When she captures Lucky, it seems as though she controls every situation. Episode 2 changes that image by introducing Whittaker. During their meeting, it becomes clear that Priscilla answers to someone far more powerful. Whittaker reminds her that he arranged her release from prison only so she could recover the missing money. When she asks for more time, he humiliates and attacks her before threatening to kill both Lucky and Cary once the money is found. This scene gives Priscilla much more depth. She's still dangerous, but she's no longer simply the villain chasing Lucky. Instead, she's another person trapped inside a criminal system where everyone answers to someone else. The show suggests that power within organized crime is often temporary. Even the people who seem untouchable are living in fear of someone above them. The missing $10 million drives every major storyline in these episodes. Lucky believes it could represent a chance at freedom, while Priscilla sees it as the key to saving her own life. The FBI hopes recovering the money will expose the larger criminal operation, and Whittaker views it as proof of his authority. Because every character gives the money a different meaning, it becomes more than just stolen cash. It represents power, freedom, survival, and greed all at once. Ironically, nobody actually enjoys having it. Instead, the money destroys trust, breaks apart families, and turns almost every character against one another. The series suggests that chasing wealth without limits often creates the very problems people hoped money would solve. Much of episode 2 takes place in the open desert as Lucky searches for somewhere safe. The empty landscape leaves her exposed, with very few places to hide and nobody she can rely on. Even after finding shelter with Sylvia, that safety doesn't last once the truth comes out. The desert reflects Lucky's emotional situation. She has lost her partner, can't trust the people searching for her, and no longer has anywhere that truly feels like home. It becomes a symbol of isolation, reminding us that Lucky is completely alone despite constantly meeting new people. Every place she reaches is only temporary before she's forced to move again. By the end of episode 2, Lucky has escaped once again, but her situation has become even more dangerous. Agent Rand now understands how John, Priscilla, Cary, and the missing money are connected, and she plans to use Lucky to reach Whittaker's criminal organization. At the same time, Priscilla is running out of time because Whittaker has made it clear that failure is no longer an option. Cary may have betrayed Lucky by taking the money for himself, but the series continues to hint that someone else could be responsible for his disappearance. Until Lucky learns the truth, she's running from enemies while searching for her partner who may already be another victim. These opening episodes successfully establish both the central mystery and the emotional conflict of the series. Lucky is fighting to stay alive, but her greatest challenge may be learning whether a person raised on lies can ever build a life based on trust. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.